Hi guys. Okay, so I'm going to start with breakfast. It's important to make sure that you've got a good, healthy protein that you're starting your day off. Breakfast can be like a sugar bomb. Think about it. You're having like French toast. Pancakes typically are going to be like cake. So I'm just going to give you a couple of alternatives that will be able to get you that protein and be able to keep it a little bit more healthy. If you're one of those people that really needs to start their day with a shake, you want to make sure that you've got a good, healthy protein in there. And you don't want to load it up with a ton of fruit. Because if you take each one of them, you do a little research, how much you're putting in there and how much sugar that is. The reason why you want to try to stay away from sugar is that sugar turns to fat, turns to weight gain, cholesterol intake, inflammation. There's a direct correlation. So we're trying to keep our sugar intake down, but we want to live our lives, right? Then secondly, if you don't have any protein to balance it off, you're starting your day up here and you're going to slam down. This is a great plant-based protein. There's only 5 ingredients: pea protein, organic, vanilla powder, pumpkin seeds, which are good for your brain, monk fruit, which gives you a little bit of the sugar, and chia seeds. But what it does do is give you 20 grams of protein, and that's only in 1 scoop. What I would suggest also, put a scoop of the beet powder. For me, I absolutely like beets are, if you want heart health, this is really good for your blood pressure. You want to get a lot of fiber during the day. And what I'm trying to help you do is not to make you feel like you've got to be carrying around a bucket full of kale with you. How do you get that fiber into your diet in a pretty simple way? So if you're using a shake, you might want to also then scoop in. Remember we talked about having these kind of on hand. This is the chia seeds additional and flax seeds. You can put those in there. These are walnuts. These are pumpkin seeds. Also putting in a little cinnamon is really good because that's an antioxidant. Speaking about breakfast, many people are getting away from dairy. And then they go to the almond milk, the oat milk. Most of them are loaded with sugar, like really loaded with sugar, or all kinds of additives. So what I found was good old powdered oat milk. These are just oats. That's all it is. Comes with a jar and keep in the fridge. Regular water and this. You put it in there, shake it up, it stays in the fridge. So it doesn't have any additives in it. So the other thing that I have been finding, actually my girls have been finding this helpful too, is coconut cult. So they now have this coconut, which is cultured coconut. It is very high in fat. Coconut is a better fat than a lot of fats, but the cultured part of it, it's kind of like the parts of yogurt. It has probiotics in it. All of us have found that our digestive system is actually, it's just a little bit of a smoother move, so to speak. Eggs are good. Eggs are very good for you. When you're cooking eggs, you want to make sure that they're no hormones. They really have to be, they basically are on vacation. They're like out in this like small farm. They're out, they're pasture raised, organic. They're more expensive. And this is a luxury to get them. If you're going to use a little bit of cheese, that's great. Again, there's protein. There are good things in dairy, but use it in moderation. If you're going to be making those eggs, how do you get your vegetables? So you're supposed to be having like 14 different vegetables in the course of the day. That feels completely overwhelming, but think about it. You can start your day with maybe just putting in some peppers. Or did you have vegetables the night before? Chop them up, throw them into a little omelet and saute them. Now, if you don't want to use eggs, think about using some tofu. I know I have now become my mother. I do not wear Birkenstocks, but yes, I do eat tofu. Tofu is actually a good form of protein. And if you're thinking about using it for like a tofu scramble, use the firm one. Also, you can think about eating, kind of dinner or lunch items. They do in Asia start their day with a miso soup, different things that you would see typically lunch or dinner. So smoked salmon, good way to get your omega-3s, good way to get some protein. This is wild caught. Wild caught is great because you don't want farm raised. Farm raised means that it's just been in this vat. You want to just keep it as process free as possible. And I have this almond flour protein pancake mix because again, I don't want to be one of those moms that's like, absolutely not, you can't have any pancakes. But how do you make them healthier? This is gluten-free, so I have it in my house because my daughter's gluten-free, but it also has a lot more protein. It has 14 grams of fat, but the fat is healthy fat because it comes from almonds. So in terms of the sugar, it's much, much lower in sugar, but it does have 11 grams of protein. Organic maple syrup, you do not want that like Aunt Jemima corn syrup. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not good. You can do a little butter. Using a jam is probably better. Again, we are not perfect. We are just trying this journey, but trying to stay happy as well.